All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to That's the Angle. And big shout outs to you. If you saw the Loco Chanel interview, that one was really cool and really fun. And going with the trend, try to keep some more feminine energy because it's nothing but dudes. So now we're two girls in a row. Hey, we're doing big things, guys, because this is Erin Yasmeen, or Erin, and she's actually a friend. Like, out of everyone I've interviewed, I probably know her the most. But it makes a lot of sense for me to bring you here because, like, I always ask people after interviews, like, oh, who should I interview? Who should I interview? And Corey, you know Corey Gray. He's like, yeah, you should hit up Erin. I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And like, I thought it was just super cool because you're a female in like a male dominated industry.
Yeah.
And you're a videographer, which is like even crazier. That's so nuts.
I feel like half the time that I'm on big shoots, especially if it's like for bigger companies, I'm almost always the only girl. Like,
really?
I just went to Ohio.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always the youngest, and then I'm always the only girl. So like I always have to be like in that male energy kind of thing.
What is that like? Like, is it awkward at all? Or?
No, I mean I've always been very like tomboyish. And I have a brother. I grew up like with like boy best friends. So like for me it's not like a big deal, and I've never run into anybody being like disrespectful, luckily. Like I have, but it's never anybody that's like someone that can make a difference in my life, if that makes sense. It's never anybody that I work with.
Yeah, it's like the guy's creepy friend or something like that who just happens to be chilling.
Yeah. I mean, I was on a shoot one time when I used to do more like modeling stuff, and one of the guys was like talking down to me. Like the photographer was talking down to me because he was like, "Oh, you shoot video? Like that's cute." Like every time a lot of times when I tell people I take video, they're like, "Oh, like that's cute. Like she does video."
That's
like
cute.
not
Like, they
knowing
don't think
that
you're
that's
serious?
like not knowing that that's like my life. Like that's what I care about the most. And then he was like telling me that, oh, I should switch to this, and like I should do this and get this, and I'm just like sitting there like biting my tongue like, okay, yeah, because I'm not a confrontational person. And then like he couldn't figure out how to use his camera, and I had to help him. Like,
that's gotta be so nuts because it's not just the fact that you're a girl doing something in the dominant industry, but you're also pretty, which is like a layer on top of that. Because like let's be honest, like most photographers and videographers, they're behind the scenes people because like they don't want to be in front of the camera, and most time it's because you're not on the scale of good looking that attractive. but in your case, it's got even harder for them because now they're like here with like a talented videographer.
Thank you.
And I was definitely checking out a lot of your work last night. The stuff that you don't even post on Instagram, like some wedding stuff I saw. I was sad. I almost started crying. But like, it's not just like you're talented, but then it's like, oh crap, like she's also a model and has way more clout than me on Instagram. It's like that's got to be a weird dynamic for these dudes as well.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the times like for bigger projects, people don't usually like see my Instagram, which is fine with me. Like for me, it's more like about my work and like not about Instagram, which a lot of people don't think just because I do have a bigger following. But for me, it's like I don't post a lot. For a while, I'd never posted my work on Instagram.
But that's really interesting because I've been in rooms with you where like people always, when they ask for the @ and for some reason it's like because you have like a high number of people will all of a sudden shift their attitude. It gets really weird. Haven't you noticed that?
I don't like it. That's why when like I get uncomfortable sometimes. Like I was at your thing and your exhibition.
Okay. Yeah. The recent one, the exotic one. Yeah,
I was there and someone came up to me because of my camera, like asked me about my camera and stuff, and then they followed me. And then they messaged me and they were like, "Oh, like we should collab with your 1DX." And I was like, "What a weird message to get." I was like, "What do you mean with my camera? You mean you want to use my camera?"
Is that like just like a come on? Is that just like an obvious come on, or what is that?
I don't know. I was just like, that is such a weird.
What do they expect? Like, let's collab. Like, oh, I just want to use your camera, not you. I don't want your skills or your face. Just your camera.
Just my camera, because it's a good camera, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like I've been in a lot of situations with not just you, at anyone, where it's like once they get the @ and they see like this number and they're just like, oh, and like they just get like they get all like.
Yeah, and it's not even really like a big number, and if you think about it in retrospect.
It's like what, 20K at this point?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
Are they real?
Yeah.
I've never asked someone. I just asked you because you're my friend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But so do you think you got that much noticing because of your modeling or because of your skills?
I would say, yeah, it was like my modeling. Like when I moved back to DC, I started modeling more. Like I did a little in Vermont, but not really. and then I got posted on Arsenic. I don't know if you know what that is.
Mm-mm,
It's
what is
like
that?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like they call themselves an online magazine.
Really?
But they basically just repost a lot of girls. They help a lot of girls get found and stuff. So I got reposted on there like multiple times, and they have like
For your
millions-
modeling? Or
for
for
my
your...
modeling,
Okay.
yeah. And they have like millions of followers and stuff.
Wow.
And then they like asked me to take over their Snapchat and stuff. And this was when like
Whoa.
I thought that was like I was like more interested in modeling. I'm not really anymore, but so that's where like a decent amount of it came from in the beginning.
How long ago was that? Too?
That was a long time ago.
Really?
That was like right when I moved back to DC. So that was like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Because I transferred to AU, and then
That's American University.
Mm-hmm. And I just graduated. I feel like I've been graduated forever because I've been working, but I've only been graduated since May.
And so AU was in Vermont.
No, so so it's kind of complicated. I went to school in Vermont, Champlain College, and because I didn't think I wanted to stay in DC, left DC, realized I hated it, and then came back and then transferred to American.
Mm.
So American is the school in DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you going to school for
Film.
For film?
Yeah, so when I started with film has always been like something that I've been interested in. Like when I was a kid, I always tell the story because I feel like that's where it started. My brother and I, we went to Maine on a family vacation, and we made like a stop motion zombie film. And my mom,
Just like growing up.
yeah, just like growing up, we used to steal my parents' camera and make like little videos and stuff. And my mom kind of saw that interest and like put me in a video editing camp.
Whoa.
So like in middle school, I was like
that's
taking
crazy.
I like learned Final Cut in like middle school. So, but my mom's a graphic designer, my dad's a musician. He doesn't do it professionally, but like I'm like really lucky that my parents are super supportive of everything.
Yeah, you definitely seem like you have like a creative family that's
we have
super
a
understanding
stage in my
of, like,
basement, and like my parents are like house concerts and stuff.
Dude, that's
like,
so crazy. But that whole dynamic, even like the concerts in your house, that's gotta have had like some sort of influence in like what you do.
Oh yeah, it definitely influenced the music.
Like were you just like practicing like every time someone comes, you like practice your videos and photos?
Well,
like how long has that been going on? Like
the stage
super
stuff
random.
has been going on not super long, since I was in college, because our basement flooded and my mom used that as an excuse to like fulfill her dream of like having house concerts and stuff. But yeah, but my sibling is a musician, so they're going to school
Your
for
sibling?
My sibling, yeah.
Your brother. I've never seen your brother.
Yeah.
Does he look like you? Is he older? Is he younger?
He's younger.
How much younger?
He's 4 years younger,
Okay.
but I feel like we're the same age most of the time because they're very mature.
We just breezed through a lot of stuff.
I know. I kept changing the subject.
Yeah, I'm like,
there's a lot.
like, because there's so much interest we're gonna get to, but you went to school for film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
Yeah,
nuts
yeah,
because
yeah.
I just talked to Corey.
He went to school for film.
And he went to school for film too.
I think we
and
have the same feelings about it.
Really?
I don't know exactly how we talked about it when I first met him, but I started, so what I was saying before was when I started in college, film was kind of like majoring in painting because the digital space hadn't blown up yet. So I was like almost kind of scared to major in film because I didn't want to like not be able to support myself.
It was old school film.
It was old school, yeah.
Like,
so
film on like a reel.
It was more like making movies kind of thing. And I'd never really wanted to make movies. I've always wanted to tell stories, but I didn't know if I wanted to be a part of like a giant movie set. You know what I mean? Like
it's very traditional.
Yeah, like it was very traditional. There was no like social media. There was nothing. And then I interned at the United Nations and then Discovery Channel. When I interned at Discovery, my boss was like, you need to work at like a digital space. And at that point I was like, what is that? Like, no, like I want to work in TV, blah, blah, blah. And then after I worked in TV, I realized like, that's not.
Yeah, when I first met you, I see you posting like in the TV rooms and backstage and all that stuff.
Well, that was I worked at the TV station at my school.
Oh, so that was AU?
Yeah, that was AU.
I mean, but it looked legit. I thought it was CNN or something.
No, it was like the TV, it was like the news network for AU.
But you bring up like a really interesting point, which is the idea that like
film changed a lot.
Yeah, that
it's
the
crazy.
school is outdated. Like the school, even when I went to school for audio engineering and music production, that was like what it was ahead of its time. I'm like, okay, well, teach me how to make beats on Logic or Fruity Loops. But they're over here trying to teach me music theory. I'm like, guys, I don't need a sight sing. Same thing with you. It's like they're trapped in this past where they can't get hip to the fact that it's like you just wanted to learn like digital storytelling.
Yeah, well, I think AU was really good. I mean, a lot of the reason I switched was Champlain wasn't really up to speed in what
Champlain.
it's a small school.
Sounds like a place in France or something.
I know, it was in Vermont. Like,
was it one of those weird like religious schools where they made you wear uniforms?
No, it was a hippy dippy school.
Oh.
Like almost in a way where like a lot of kids went there for skiing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people didn't really have a plan, or like didn't really have, not that they didn't have motivation, but like I just felt kind of out of place because I had like so much determination with what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do. Like I just wanted to make, like, people didn't just make things. It might have changed since I left, but that's how I felt when I was there. But AU was really good because AU kind of like understood the digital space. So I majored in film and media, and then I double majored in marketing. So, because when you, which a cool thing about AU is if you do anything in like the school of communications, they make you either minor or like you can major if you want, but they make you minor in a different school.
Like so a different thought or something? Like what is
yeah, so like if you major in film, like you can minor in marketing, or you can minor in like business or like music business or something like that, so that you have like a varied amount of skills, so you can get, like, if you want to get a job in like the normal field, you can.
Oh, so it's like here's your artistic side,
yeah,
and then here's something that's
and then here's something
practical,
that, yeah,
in case, well, because we know that most of you guys aren't going to do that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think for me, for school, for the classes that I took, that I chose to take, I loved them. A lot of them, like, this sounds so corny, but like my screenwriting class, like, changed my life. My lighting class, it was a class on a Saturday. It was 6 hours long, and I liked it, like, because that's like what I wanted to do.
That's what school should be.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
what it should be. It should be class that you're excited to learn to actually apply to whatever the hell it is you want to do at that time.
Yeah, and I think where I lost, not interest, but my sibling and I said the same thing, like, the reason that we both don't maybe not like school is because it feels more like a business instead of an institution, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Instead of like this institution for learning, it kind of
feels like a business, like they're just trying to get money from you. Like, I'm taking all these classes. Like, my last semester, I didn't realize that I had so much of the core classes per se to take. So my last semester, I wasn't taking any film classes.
That's the dumbest part. Yeah. It's like, I swear to God, the core classes are your gen eds.
I was taking like chemistry of cooking. Like, when am I ever going to use that? Yeah. It wasn't even teaching me how to cook. It was like teaching me all this dumb, I don't remember any of it now. I think
it's because like they look at the business and say, how do we make it worth it? Like, you could realistically get out of there in 2 years.
Oh yeah. There's specific colleges that like you can get your major in 2 years.
Was there any reason why you did that over like Full Sail?
Oh, Full Sail's not.
So you actually know about Full Sail?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had friends who went to school in Florida in Full Sail, and it was the craziest, most expensive, most intense, most crock of shit thing I've ever seen in my life.
Full Sail's kind of not a scam. I don't know enough to talk about it, but I've heard from other people that have applied there. And because I was looking at it because they did come to my high school, and it looks really dope.
They make it look They make it look like you're going to come out of there like Steven Spielberg or something like that.
I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like what your degree is, although I am grateful for my degree and grateful that my parents allowed me to go to college. I think at the end of the day, you have to take what you learned and do something with it. Like, I was talking to my friend, and there are a lot of things that I think a lot of kids that go to college for film face is that they're stuck in their traditional like roots. Like, a lot of times they don't know how to DIY or go like off the beaten path. And because I started before I went to college, I have like a mix of that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. You didn't go into it blind, like you weren't assuming like, I think I want to do film. You're like, no, I want to do film, and like I've been doing it. Like,
a lot of the stuff I learned,
I don't know.
I learned on my own. Like, the things that I learned at school were like the very technical things, like screenwriting, lighting. I didn't learn much The editing that I learned at school, I like already knew.
Do you think that you could have just like YouTubed most of that stuff though?
I think to an extent, yes and no. I think like I do like the in-person thing because I do have not a short attention span, but I'm a very like visual and talkative learner. So I like to learn from
like in-person
people, like in person. But I think YouTube definitely. But it's also just like practicing on your own. Like, I noticed like growth from myself just when I actually just started doing everything on my own.
I think that's like super interesting. It's like, you knew you want to do it. You had super supportive, creative parents, which is tight. I mean, like that's cool. They understand. Like,
a lot of people
one's a musician. You said your mom was a musician, or your dad?
My mom is a graphic designer and an amazing artist, and my dad, he's a data analyst, but he loves music and he plays music. And I think a lot of the reason why I was looking into doing just marketing, and then my dad like sat me down. He was like, look, I hate my job. I've never liked my job. I wish I did this, and I don't want you to like feel the same way. And like, I know that you love film, and you will find a way to make it work. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna, if I feel like I would regret it. And I minored in marketing, so if like anything, like
Well,
I
that's
have
got to
that.
help you with
Yeah.
because you run your own freelance business essentially.
Basically,
in,
yeah, at this point.
In like you could make it for yourself. Like, how's that going? Like, you seem busy. Like, you seem like you're always working. I mean, like, I even you were taking photos at my exhibition. Like, you're getting that paper. Like, what the hell?
I mean, yeah, it's been cool because I feel like it's been very like steady, and I don't know like what the next steps are right now. I'm kind of just like riding the wave because I had like this whole plan like that.
What was the plan, for me asking?
I wanted to. Well, at first I thought I was going to graduate from Vermont. That didn't happen. I was going to graduate and then immediately move to California and work at Discovery Channel.
Whoa.
Because I worked there, I interned there for 2 years. So I had like that, like connections that I could potentially do that and it would be pretty easy. But then I realized like I don't really want to sit in an office 9 to 5.
You essentially
like,
know that's what that is. Like,
yeah,
you're signing
and like
up for that.
Discovery is a cool company. I love my first boss, but it's like you don't really feel like you're a part of the process because there's so many people. Even when I was doing production there, it was like there's so many people, like you do end up just kind of being a number. And like the internship program there was insane. Like it was really, really cool and like immersive, and like I know the fact that I even got in was like
really interesting. It's like creative jobs in corporate businesses.
It's weird.
It's weird because as great as the pay might be in like your 9 to 5 schedule and the health benefits, you don't have much creative control. Like, sure, you're editing video, but you're not editing video you want to do or projects that you want to work on.
And I kind of just felt like I was wasting my life sitting in a desk. I don't know. I know that if right now, what I'm trying to do is make what I'm doing work. And if it doesn't work out, like, I'm 23, I have, like, I know, I keep thinking, like, I'm so behind. But, like, I know I'm not. It's just, if it doesn't work out, then I'll go get a job. Mm-hmm. And it'll be fine, and I'll never have to regret, like, not trying. But right now, it's, like, I just want to put everything into it.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's working, like, I mean... I mostly think of you as like a videographer. So whenever I really do that stuff, like you just did like a huge project for an artist named John Rome. Mm-hmm. What was that about?
So John and I met through a mutual friend, and then he had an opener at Songbird, and he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, can you come shoot the opener?" Like, blah blah blah. And then that was the first project we like worked on together. And at first he kind of just wanted a recap, and I was like, "Yo, can I kind of like make it almost like a docu-series kind of thing?"
Ooh.
So he was like, yeah, like totally, like let's go for it. And then that was the first project we worked on, and it got a lot of traction, and then we just started working together more on like different things. And like now I guess you could say I'm like his videographer, and then Jalen is his photographer. And so him opening at Anthem, so the last project we filmed was him headlining at Songbird. He sold it out, and now he opened at Anthem for Wu-Tang, which is crazy.
Oh, see, that was the clip I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea who John Rome is, but if you're opening for Wu-Tang, you gotta be doing something, all right?
No, he's dope. You should check out his music.
It's like what, like rock music?
It's like, I would say rap, but like I feel like rap isn't even doing it justice.
It's like rap rock?
It's like melodic. Like it's like melodic rap. It's like almost
Is he like Russ?
Yes and no.
Oh.
I think he's better than Russ. I don't personally really dig Russ that much, but that's just my personal
opinion. Why don't you like Russ?
I don't really like his sound.
Oh, okay.
And I don't like his ego, but that's my own opinion.
Yeah. So. I love Russ, but it's cool. I respect your opinion.
I respect your opinion.
Yeah. Shout out Russ. Let me get that interview. No, I'm just kidding. This isn't a music interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy because that seems very natural for you, working in the music space as a videographer. Like if I was to look at your situation growing up, like that would make a lot of sense. And I mean, have you ever directed like a music video or anything?
Yeah. I've done a ton.
You have?
Yeah. I just shot a Bollywood music video a couple days ago.
No way.
Yeah. It was an interesting experience. But yeah, and John and I are shooting a music video, I think, hopefully, and then next week, maybe the week after.
Oh.
It's going to be released in December.
That's crazy.
And then I shot one a couple weeks ago. And yeah, it's just like here and there. I don't always like shoot it. Sometimes I assistant director direct, but like music I don't know, music is always something that I've been interested in, and like because of my parents, like I've always been like in that space. And I think the interest started from like when we started having the house shows, and my mom would be like, please take pictures of the artist, blah blah blah, like so I would start by like taking pictures there, and then realize that I could use
Was it like during high school and stuff, like these basement
No, that
shows?
was like in college, but I
Okay.
still was like,
Oh, they were like, kids
yeah,
are out. Let's have
yeah,
some fun.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But they were like, I've always been interested in it. I think for a while it was like I've always loved video, but it took me a while to figure out exactly what direction I wanted to take it. Like I've always been really into storytelling and like making short films, but I guess in a sphere of like career-wise, like what I wanted to do, it took a while to figure out like what space I want to exist in.
So
Like you do fashion, and I would never do fashion
I'm
just
like,
because it's not like I'm not. That's not what I'm good at. It's
exactly
what you're good at. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it took me a
I'm
while
like
to figure that
fashion
out.
and fine art though now,
Yeah.
because I've been doing these exhibitions and
Yeah.
I've like been seeing this art world. I'm like, I want that art world money, baby. Like I'm not gonna
What
lie.
about the creative side of it though?
No, but the art world is like super, is hyper creative as compared to fashion. Like the fashion can be hyper creative, but
Fashion I always felt like was very restrictive.
it is in a sense where with fine art, it's like, oh, I could take a photo of a flower on a girl's vagina and hopefully sell for $10,000. Like I'm like, yes, sign me up for that gravy train, because if I could shoot for only galleries, it's like, yeah, I would do that. It's gonna sell out. What do you mean? you don't have to deal with like these brands contact me and hit me up for all something. It's like, that sounds great. But like I love fashion. Same way it's like you love music related with video.
Yeah.
In
I
a
think
way.
I just like the edgier stuff, just like in life and in general.
The edgier stuff? What do you mean
I don't know how to
edgy?
describe that. Like a lot of the work that you shoot is very clean. It's
That's
like
true.
in a studio. A lot of the stuff
True.
that I do is like grittier, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it. Like
Like a gritty aesthetic, like
kind of, and like also like I like to do stuff like talk about issues that are deeper in a sense, I guess. Like I really, like I have a short about like mental health that I did a while ago. I have a photo series about like my whole journey as like a person.
what was that called? Was that called In Bloom?
That was no, that was the photo series I did. So
Oh,
that
I was doing
like
some research, so I had
yeah, that's like
No, no, no.
honestly one of my favorite projects I think I've ever done.
Okay, but tell me about this mental health thing you're about to tell me. I'm curious. That's kind
Which
of like
one?
that mental health real quick.
Oh,
that you're
okay.
trying to
So when I was in college, we had to make a short film, and I at that point was struggling with anxiety like a lot. So I developed anxiety at a really late age. Like it was very weird. I developed it when I was like 20, and it was like crippling to the point where like I literally had a panic attack like almost every day.
Whoa.
And like I don't really talk about it a lot because a lot of people don't think that someone who's like kind of out there is very social could have those kind of issues, but it's something that a lot of people go through, and it's different in different people. So I know a lot of
crazy to think
people.
that there's an age requirement for anxiety.
Yeah, but it was also weird because I was like, I'm like almost an adult. I don't really know how to. I had to deal with it on my own because like I was living by myself at that time, and like I knew like what anxiety was. I like it's so weird that I remember this, but the first panic attack I ever had was at prom.
Whoa.
In high school. But then I didn't deal with it for a really long time. And then I think it was like the situations that I was in and like everything that was like making it a lot worse. But anyway, so that was something that's like really close to me because I struggled.
Was that like was that kind of like the peak? Was that panic attack?
That on high school? No, it was like when I was 20. And I was like dealing with it every day, and like I was like pretty much alone. Like my friends didn't understand, my boyfriend at the time like didn't understand. Like people get mad at me, then like, "Oh, like you're ruining the fun," blah, blah, but it wasn't something that I could control. So I felt very alone. So the film I like made it's a very short film, and sometimes I wish I could remake it because like with what I have now, but it's basically I just wrote about how it feels. So like if someone doesn't have anxiety, like kind of almost trying to visually portray how it feels to somebody, like if they're just watching it, they can feel
because
it.
when you were saying that you had that crazy panic attack, like
Yeah.
in my mind I wanted to ask you, I was like, so what is that like? Because I personally, I think I've had an anxiety attack once, which is weird because it wasn't a moment where I was like under a lot of pressure and everything.
See,
I was
for me,
really
it never
like laying
makes
in
any
bed.
sense.
I was literally like
Yeah.
laying in bed, and I felt like my heart skipped a beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And I
See,
like
how I describe it in the film is like it's like you miss a step, but you keep missing it. Like it just doesn't stop. It's like
Really?
that, when your heart drops, it's like that, but it's just continuous. And for me, I have like two different kinds where like I have some that it just resonates almost in my stomach, and I can just feel it existing, and I could just be sitting here like this, like normally, and talking, and like you would never know that I was even like feeling it because it's in my stomach. It's not something that like is visible to other people. And then there's obviously the panic attacks, which that doesn't happen to me that often.
But you can still feel anxious or anxiety.
Yeah, the stomach one is almost, for me, that's worse because you kind of can't make it go away. I haven't figured out how to make it go away. You kind of just have to like ride it out and wait for it to go away. With where the panic attacks, like I've figured out how to calm myself down. So that is like almost fleeting. I would rather deal with that than like the stomach issue, like anxiety almost.
Yeah,
in a way.
I don't ever want to say I can relate, but I understand.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's weird to say, but like smoking weed made me really anxious. Like I don't smoke as
Yeah, I
much
quit
anymore
smoking
because
weed
it made me
and
super
drinking.
anxious, and like I feel I feel like light a little bit. Like I feel like my heart was like beating and like light of breath. I was just like. And I was just thinking, like, let me stop being high. I'm like, wait, why am I doing this to myself? Like, this is not fun.
For me, like, when I was experiencing when I was like 20, 21, I quit smoking and drinking for about a year. But now, like, if I smoke, usually it calms me down. So I think it's really, like, situational almost.
It is, I guess, huh?
But also, like, another thing about it is, like, a lot of people would be like, well, why are you anxious? Like, and I'd just be like, I literally don't know.
Well, I think
like, a lot of the time is, like, it literally, the reason why it's so frustrating, and I talk about this in the film, which I actually ended up acting in, which wasn't planned, but we had another girl that was supposed to act, and she just, like, she didn't have anxiety. So when I was just trying to get even, like, simple scenes, like, it just didn't look right to me. And the one of the assistant directors, he was like, he has anxiety too, and he actually has a tattoo of, I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a gif online of like, kind of like a hexagon, and it opens and closes, and you're supposed to like breathe with it, and he has it tattooed on his arm.
Oh.
So like he like understood. He was like, look, like you wrote this.
Yeah.
You're directing
she's trying to describe your
He was
feelings.
like, why don't you be in it? And I was like, I'm not an actress. I don't want to do that. This is like too close to home for me. He's like you know exactly what you want, and like we were running out of time because it was technically for an project.
And this girl was just not getting it.
She was a good actress, but it just like wasn't portraying the way that we both wanted it to, and then I ended up doing it, and I am glad that I did it because if there was no talking, it was just like.
So can you repost? I mean, if you want, can you repost it? Now you're talking about it, and I've never seen it. Like, would you mind reposting it, even if you think the work is bad? But like,
I mean, I don't think the work is bad. I just like I know that I could make it so much better now.
Yeah, well,
but I always feel like that. You know what I mean?
It's like isn't that so weird? Like looking at your past work, you're always just like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I?
But I remember because like that video is literally like it's all me. Like I didn't shoot it, but I was in it. I wrote it, and then I edited it, and we premiered it at a film festival.
Whoa, that's like cool.
I remember sitting in my seat and like being surrounded by all these people, being like, just like seeing myself on screen.
I don't know. Maybe you should like Russ. That's on some Russ shit. You shot, edited, directed, acted, premiered it yourself. You got a lot of fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I'm so used to doing things like on my own, but like now I've found a group of people that are like I can trust.
Wait, real quick. You took it to a film festival. How did it?
We so it was for like a children's fund, and we ended up winning an award for the
Well, congrats, it's sick.
Thanks.
That's super sick. Dang.
And the In Bloom won
put that on the
Visions
website.
Award.
Yeah, that was the one I saw.
Yeah.
But just real quick, well, I'm like pivot off this. But I don't want to talk about anxiety this entire time. But what I want to say was, there is no face like when you picture an anxious person, it's not someone just like crippled into a ball. Like, help me, guys. Like, if someone was to look at your online presence, they'd be like, this girl looks happy as fuck. What do you mean? She's out dancing with her friends. Like, she's like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's got clout. Like, how could you have any sort of anxiety? Like, but that being said, it's like, well,
it's something you can't really control. Yeah. And it's something I didn't even know that was like existed in my body, I guess. Yeah. Until I was so much older. That's why I think it was so weird, because I always thought it was something that you had when you were a kid.
Really? I always thought it was something you get when you were older, when you finally realized the world.
I didn't know anything about it. That's the thing. Like, a lot of things about. Well, now I feel like people talk about it more, but when I had it, I didn't know anything about it. So like, I just had to figure it out all on my own, which is why I wanted to make that film. So like, when I posted a clip of it on my Instagram. And I was like really scared to post it for a while.
Dude,
and I posted it like 2 months later after we won the award. So not even 2 months after like I made the film.
Wow.
And like I ended up being really glad that I did, because I got a lot of messages and comments being like, yo, like I struggle from anxiety, and like this made me feel like not alone, or like people like being like, oh, this helped me understand it. I have a friend that has anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I find that every time, as people on social media who put themselves out there a little bit, me way more than you, but you know, you do a little bit as well, I guess. in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people love to hear you doing well, but people really love to hear you doing bad, or you not bad, but you telling like real, like you telling your vices.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of an interesting thought I recently heard on like a Joe Rogan podcast where they were like, okay, like that whole thing about signaling, like, oh, like you signal you're a good person, I donated for this, but vice signaling, like coming out and saying, yo, like I have anxiety, like people can relate with that so much more, they connect with that on like a lot of levels.
I think that's why I like social media the most, is like that I can connect with other people.
So you have a positive outlook on social media?
I do and I don't. I think that for me, I understand like how it can affect someone negatively. So like whenever I feel like it's affecting me negatively, I'll just delete the app for a couple days.
Oh, straight delete.
Yeah. Well, I won't delete my account. I just delete it off my phone.
Yeah.
And then like I'll go back and like I just know that it's just like obviously it's something in my life, but like there's so many other things in my life, like my friends and like my work, that are like more important. So I think for a while it was like an issue, but I think I like kind of almost recognized it.
Don't you get business from Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
You have to get a lot of business.
Yeah.
I mean, most people do.
But I think it's cool because I posted something a while ago that was like, I was thinking about it, like perception of like online people and like how people think of me if they don't know me and they just see like what I am like online. And the response I got was like, I was kind of surprised. I thought a lot of people were going to be like, oh, like you just care about this, or like you are superficial, blah blah blah. But a lot of it was like people were like, oh, I'm glad that you share like the ups and downs of your life. Like I feel like you're pretty like real. Like obviously on Instagram it's always gonna be like sugar coated no matter
highlights,
what, but I feel like I try and talk about things that most people would relate to, which I think is cool that people like acknowledge that and appreciate that, because sometimes people could get like negativity for that.
I think so too. I think if like a really famous person came out and was like, because this is like a bigger platform, and they just were straight up like, yo, I suffer from anxiety or whatever. If people like, whoa, holy crap, no way, you're human too. It's like, I don't know what it is, but people think just because like what you do or what you have, it's like you're immune to certain shit. So that's crazy. So back on like the video tip, I mean, there's so much I could talk about your videography, but I mean, I was looking at your website and like like it's when you're describing like your about, I'm like, yeah, like she's a photographer, she's a videographer, she's a model, she's a co-director. You most identify as a videographer? I don't know if I asked you that already.
Yeah, I would say that.
Like videographer, editor, director. That's gotta be, it's pretty dope. I mean, I'm jealous as a photographer and looking at videographers like you and Corey and all them. Y'all charge so much more than I can charge for photos. It's not fair.
I mean, it's a lot more work. It's a lot. Like, people always, like, I think a lot of people think that videography is not a lot of work, which is why people try and cut your prices so much. But once you actually, like, try and shoot a video, you're like, oh, shit, like, this is a lot more work. And since I do photo and video, like, when I get a photo gig, I'm, like, chilling. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. If, like, I had to shoot video at the exhibition, oh, my God, I'd be so stressed out the whole time. Like, it's just so much more to do and think about when you shoot video, whereas photo you can just be like, okay, click click click, like you have so many more. You
have to get angles and redo things. It's like
photo, you have like maybe in a second you have 8 chances to get the right photo because you can just do shutter speed.
That's true.
Quick.
That's true.
With video, if you mess up, especially an event, oh, you're done.
Well, I saw that wedding video that you did that you just posted on the website. It's beautiful. Like I loved how you did the 2 different songs, like kind of like the whole sappy part and then like, the fun part. Like I thought it was a cool transition, because if I had to hear that sappy part the whole time, I was like, God.
I know.
But like,
well, they wanted the Chainsmokers song, and I was like, okay, well, that's a really intense song.
Which Chainsmokers?
The Something Just Like This. Have you?
Yeah, everyone knows that song.
Yeah, but she was like, I really want that song, and I started editing to that song, and I was like, this is not gonna work.
Oh, so
I looked up an acoustic version, and I sent her. I was like, is this cool? And she was like, yeah, actually, that like works so much better. And it ended up like she still had the song that she wanted, but it was like the music actually fit the mood. Like, because if there was just like dubstep like in the middle of like the beginning of a wedding video, it makes no sense.
No, wedding videos have like a certain tone where it's like has to be a little sappy, then has to be happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do much, but when I was watching that, I was thinking, I was like, man, Erin must have been running around this venue like a madwoman. There's no way, like, I know what you look like when you're editing. Like, you're so in the zone. I see you, and I can only imagine you like probably wearing sweats or some shit, because that's just like, or however you're dressed. Maybe wedding you're dressed a little different.
Yeah, it's
but like nice. You're just like, And like these
Literally.
transitions you're doing, because I've seen you when I'm looking at
Yeah.
you, you're just like going like this. I'm like, that looks so dumb. But then you
Yeah.
see the video and you're like, oh, that was a really epic transition.
Yeah.
Like the.
It's funny because at John's show, oh my god, so there's this one song that it's his favorite song. It's called Raindrops, and he was like, so you can do whatever you want for the whole show, but I would really like you to be on stage for Raindrops. And so the venue that we shot at, it was 3 levels. So I went to the 3rd level to get a shot of like the crowd and like show how big the like venue was and stuff like that. And I hear he always says the same thing when he plays a song. He goes, this is like my favorite song I've ever written. I was on the 3rd floor when I heard that, and I was like, oh my god. And I just like bolted down 3 flights of stairs, ran through the crowd, ran to the back. I got on stage on time, and Jalen was standing there, and I just ran up. I was like, Jalen, I'm here. Like, it was like insane. I was like, of course I'm on the 3rd floor, right when I'm supposed to be on the stage, but I made it work. But oh my god, we were all like, after the show, we were all joking because like Jalen, it was like me, Jalen, who's the photographer, and then John, we're all like running around. We're all like totally like out of breath after the show. And he's like, I love that we're all, like, John was like, I love that we're all out of breath.
Yeah,
like,
you're scrambling, so
yeah.
the photographer, and
Yeah.
then John's just saying his face off. For
Yeah,
the past,
running
like,
around
hour.
the stage.
He's done.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, that looked like a really fun gig.
Mm-hmm.
That's super sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved the Spooky City.
Yeah. Kim and I worked together.
What was
a lot.
it? The what
Which
was
one?
It? No, the Stranger Things inspired one.
Oh, yeah. It was cool. Yesterday I was actually at my family gathering, and my cousin was like, yo, like my friend sent me your video.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was like, it was posted on a different page. He was like, my friend sent me the video. She doesn't know who I am. And he was like, yeah, she sent me the video. And I was like, my cousin made that. Like, I was like, that's so sick.
That's gotta
like,
be a cool feeling.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, that's so cool. Because like, it's my cousin. It's like the most random thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so disconnected. Like
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most fun feelings of making content
Mm-hmm.
is when it comes back to you in a way that it never
Yeah.
should have. Like, I woke up the other day and I was just going through this big photography blog, and this video I made was reposted on there. I was like, holy shit. I was like,
Yeah.
what? No way. It's like the same thing
Yeah.
with that. It's like, oh yeah, I made that.
Yeah, I guess it is a cool feeling, especially since it was like my little cousin kind of thing, and it was like the most random thing. Like, we weren't even really talking about anything. He was like, oh yeah, like, and just like brought it up.
He just got excited about it.
Yeah, but Kim and I love working with Kim because like I think the first project we ever made was that Spring Breakers video, and that's like one of my favorite videos I think I've shot.
That was, yeah, those are both hyper creative videos that just had like an aesthetic to them. The
Yeah.
Spring Breakers one was really cool, so I
Yeah.
loved that one.
She like wanted me to come and shoot some photos, and I was like, yo, can I just shoot a video?
And by the way, guys, if you do want to see these videos, just go to her Instagram and scroll down, and where any video, it's probably one of these.
I put all my videos on my IGTV, so it's like easy to like just like look through all of them.
You know, I actually stole your IGTV idea. How you took it and you turned it sideways on IGTV.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that was genius. So I started. I'm not
Well, I
gonna lie.
don't shoot my content like this, and if I ever did, I would do it like that. But I don't shoot my content for the internet. So like, I was like, well, I don't want to cut it, crop it, or like have it like this. So I literally just flipped it.
Yeah,
and I
thought it
know
was
that
genius
naturally people flip their phones like this way.
to watch YouTube videos or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
so when I saw you do that, I was like, oh, screw vertical. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just go
Yeah.
into the photo or the Premiere and just
Flip it,
rotate it.
yeah.
Like that makes sense. Sorry, Instagram, you're not getting this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I don't really use IGTV as an IGTV. I just kind of use it as like, if someone's like, oh, can I see your videos? I'm like, I like upload all my favorite ones onto IGTV. So
But we
it's
have
like,
a 10-minute limit unless you have like special.
I'm pretty sure it's longer because I've uploaded a video. I'm pretty sure that's longer.
Well, that's what happens when you have 20K. Okay, it's
No,
not
no,
fair.
no.
I only get 10 minutes.
I don't think it's different.
Yeah, I only get 10 minutes.
Maybe it was less than 10 minutes, but I think it was longer.
No. Well, I swear, if the more followers you have, the more features you get.
Oh, I knew that. I knew you can get like.
No, but I
swipe
think
up
that
thing.
applies to IGTV too, because I
Really?
saw like a guy with like a couple million posting videos, and it was like a 30-minute video on there. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah,
this
you
isn't-
can.
I was like, this isn't fair.
You can't do that?
Hell no, I can't do
See,
that.
for me, that
10
makes
minutes
no
is my
sense.
cap.
Like having the swipe up thing for people that have over 10K, I think is kind of stupid.
It's so not fair.
Like for artists, who goes and clicks the link in the bio? No one.
No
You know what
one
I
does
mean?
it.
Like no one's gonna do that unless they're very dedicated and very interested. Like I know how lazy people are. Like no one's gonna do that. Like why does it matter how many like followers or whatever
Dude,
you
that's
have?
literally why I make my BTS videos 10 minutes, because I can put them on my IGTV and I can actually do
You can
swipe,
do a
up
swipe up,
with
yeah.
an IGTV video. So I'm like, okay, now people look at it, and I'll end up getting like more on that than on my YouTube channel. I'm like, oh my god, these people are so goddamn lazy. I can't take this stuff anymore.
Especially on their phones. And on a computer they're not, but on the phone.
The phone is everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no longer like website or tablet based, I feel like I know it's 70% phones because I used to work before I did all this. And I had a 9 to 5 job. I was like that guy at a news company, and I would see how people are consuming the news.
Yeah.
And every month it was 2% more mobile, 2% more mobile. So by the time I left, it was like 70-30 mobile versus desktop, and the desktop was probably people who were just at work.
It goes back to the whole like everything is like the digital space is changing.
So as a videographer, it's interesting because since you're so young. It's not like you're 40 where you could say like, oh, back in the film days before this YouTube shit, we would deliver 5-minute videos on DVDs. Like you pretty much grew up in this space, well, both of us, where you're making video content for like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
How does that affect your work and your editing? The fact that, do you get a lot of videos or a lot of jobs where it's like, okay, we just need Instagram video, tell a story in a minute?
I like it and I don't. I like creating content for social media because usually they give you a lot more creative freedom. And honestly, like, for specific things, like if it's for, like, clothing or, like, anything like that, a minute is sometimes it's shorter than you think and sometimes it's longer than you think.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
It gives a lot of more people, like, more jobs, if that makes any sense. Like, any kind of company now needs someone to do video and photo.
That's true.
Like, even like a law company. Like, I did some corporate shoot for like a law company. You know what I mean? Like, everybody needs video. So like that, the fact that because of the digital space, like before, a law company wouldn't need that because they're not going to put it on the freaking TV. But now they can put it online, and like now that space is bigger for people like me.
That's true. Yeah, maybe that's why there's so much more freelance videographer and photographers. Is the fact that anyone with a business and with the right brain knows that you need video and photo content to promote your business. Yeah. And here we are. Like it's everyone I interview. It's like everyone's freelance. Like some people get outsourced jobs from bigger companies. Like Corey, I didn't even talk to him about that, but I heard him talk to the fact that there's companies that reach out to him to pick up extra gigs, but we're all freelance. But it's because of social that we should be kind of grateful in a way that it gives us all food and money to drink and buy Dunkin' Donuts cappuccinos or whatever the heck you're drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. So where do you want to see it go? Like, you just want to keep creating, just like ride this wave and just see where it leads you?
Ideally, I want to work in music. Okay. So I've been shooting a lot of festivals and shows and stuff, and I think like right now my goal is to either go on tour with an artist, which would be like ideal.
That sounds fun.
Super cool. Or work for like work as a festival, like in the team, like be like part of the team that's always there.
Like the EDC festival team.
Yeah, kind of like that. Because I've been shooting like not smaller ones, but I've been working with like magazines and stuff. But I would rather work like with the actual festival and be on that team and be part of the media squad and like.
What's so intriguing about that?
Because I love festivals. I just I like it in general. Like I go and I have like, it's like work and play. Like I feel like my job is a lot of like, it's just fun. Like the only time I really go to work and like feel like it's boring is when I do stuff for like law companies.
When you gotta edit.
No, I love editing. Like really? That's my favorite part. Is like a lot of people think the editing process sucks, but I love editing. Like
thank God.
Sarah see me. I'll sit at my computer and I'll just zone the fuck out. Like I'll just sit at my computer for like 6 hours and just get like so into it. Because that's where I started. I didn't really start shooting. I started editing. The first thing I ever edited was a Tom and Jerry's, like they gave us like a little like the clips from the shows, and I edited to the song, like a Maroon 5 song. Oh, that was like the first thing I ever edited.
So it was the editing, and then you're like, oh well, I guess I have to record I can edit.
Like I like shooting, but I think I like editing more, to be honest, because that's where it kind of comes to life, and like you can take the same footage and have 2 people edit it and it can be completely different. Like a lot of my job, like in the very, very beginning, like before I even did your YouTube stuff, I was working for someone in Connecticut. Never met her. I was like, she was
tell me about that.
Yeah, she was like some health girl, and she would send me her footage that she shot, and my job was basically to turn shitty footage into something that was usable. So like I did like a lot of the time.
I never saw those videos. I never bothered to look them up.
I don't work for her. I only did like a couple videos, and then I think she got pregnant and then just got like.
She was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
fulfilled my life's role as a woman.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, she was super sweet though. She was a really nice lady, and it was good practice for me for like editing.
Wait, that's how we even got to know each other, because you were the only person I knew who even could do video. And said, hey, I was like, come out and record for my YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that paying someone $100 every time I do my YouTube video is not practical for me. Because your boy ain't balling every time.
Yeah.
So it's like I've just been doing it myself.
It's not practical for either of us.
Yeah. It's like it's not worth it for you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not worth it for me. But those videos were great.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Chinatown video we shot. People still talk about that video to this day.
Really?
Yeah. For
I like the one we did with all the girls.
The girl gang one?
The girl gang.
I mean, those two videos were bangers. Like, I don't
remember any. What other ones did we do?
No, those were the only two I think we
only
did.
Two? Yeah.
Yeah, those were some super banger videos.
Yeah.
Like, you killed those videos. And, like, I was like, well, this girl's, like, definitely talented. And after you, before you, I had one guy, and he never edited. So I was like, oh, fuck you. I was like, pretty useless. Like, now I got a bunch of footage of angles that I don't want. And I gotta edit it. But then you did it, and you did it all, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I don't even tell her to make revisions.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I can edit, and I was like, the first video, I just edited it without you even asking, because I was like, I don't want anyone else to touch my footage. Like,
I feel the same way.
I was like, I know that the way I shot it, I know what I'm gonna edit. Like, when I shoot, I think about how I'm gonna edit things.
Exactly.
So if I give it to you, and you don't know what I'm doing, you could look at footage and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like,
you're telling the story,
I mean?
and you're but the thing is, you're saving so much time by not editing someone else's footage. Like, you don't have to go through the footage. You can pretty much just go in sequence and just chop it up and be like, okay, here it is. Took me an hour.
Yeah. My editing process is very like scattered.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so I go in and I look at all my footage. I cut parts that I want to use. I put it on a timeline, and then I color code it, and then I go back on another timeline and kind of like make like a rough cut. But if you look at my timeline, it's like all over the place. Like it's like very disorganized organization. Yeah.
Okay.
I use Premiere and I use After Effects, but like most of the time I have like 8 or 10 video layers and like almost 20 like audio layers. Like it's just so overwhelming sometimes.
Because even though I make video, I'm still a noob. I'm very like rudimental at it. You mean layers as in just like channels? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So like the different.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought that was like something else that was above my knowledge.
No, it's very like simple, just layers.
And stupid question for like me and all the other photographers who probably don't know. What is the point of After Effects? Like, can you just what?
After Effects is a tool. A Premiere can do a lot of the things that After Effects does, but After Effects, it takes it to the next level, if that makes sense. So like I shot that video for Connor Maynard a while ago, and I did the animation on it. So I did like little scribbles. So if I did that in Premiere, it wouldn't look as good, and it would have taken longer. Granted, I did have to animate it frame by frame, but After Effects, you can also build graphics. So like my YouTube intro, I built that in After Effects.
So After Effects is for doing animated things on the video.
It's like animation. You can do transitions in it. You can do a lot of editing in it. But originally, from what my knowledge is, After Effects was used mostly for titling. But it's expanded so that you can even do like transitions.
You mean like intro title?
Yeah.
Closing.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like graphics, titling is more of what After Effects is for. So I don't use it a lot, but I do use it like pretty often.
Okay, I just wanted the primer on that real quick, just because when people talk about After Effects, I'm always just like, what does it do? Like,
oh my god, it's so. I think out of all of it, I think it's the most complicated one, but maybe it's because it's the last.
Do you think it's like that cherry on top that kind of takes the videos to the next level in a way? Like it's kind of like that.
It depends on the video.
I can't use this, you can't kind of the thing. Like that's like that secret sauce that like the people are really paying for. Like that's that cool transition that like how'd she do that?
Well, I do most of my transitions in Premiere, but after I think it really depends on the video. Like if you want to do graphics, like Gibson Hazard, he does all his shit in After Effects. Like all those like he does like crazy like.
What's his name again?
Gibson Hazard. He's super young.
Hazard. Okay.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff for big musicians, but his videos are almost like straight animations. Like they're not really. I think he does most of it in After Effects. That's like the wave
these days, though. Is it just because that's how kids want it? But whenever I watch like a Cole Bennett video, if you know who Cole Bennett is, he makes.
Yeah, I know. I don't really watch his videos, but I know who he is.
But his animations are insane, and that's how he blew up. I'm just like, dude, every frame is there's like 20 different things going on.
Because it's that extra thing that like most people don't know how to do.
Yeah.
So it's like that little extra like that Connor video, like he was like, oh yeah, can you just animate it? And like the fact that we used animation, I think, was that little extra like.
It's that sauce because it's like okay, you're just showing a thing, but when you show the thing and like all of a sudden the cup is floating for no reason, it's like that's that sauce that is like really cool about videography.
Alright, it takes so long though. Like that video was how long was the video? I think it was like 2 minutes long. And so I started animating at 10 p.m. because we had to edit the video and everything. We shot the video that day. I started editing at 10 p.m. and I had to do the whole video frame by frame. I stopped working at 10 a.m. I remember I stood up and I literally felt like I was going to faint because I was so tired. I was like, but I got to finish it because we got to post the video today.
What were you editing? You had like a scribble throughout the whole video?
It depended on the frame, but like, yeah, it was like little scribbly animations. It wasn't anything intense, but it was like you literally have to draw what you're drawing, next, draw, next,
frame
draw.
by frame.
Yeah, and I used to whack them for that.
Oh,
so,
you used to whack them?
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Some people say
what the little tablet,
yeah, the
not
tablet.
Whack them like within the
no,
pockets.
that's what it's called. But
I
yeah,
thought you were saying
like
tablet. I thought you were saying like, I used to whack them with like how much you're paying me. Like, yeah, I'd get him with that one. I was up to 10 a.m. Pay me the bag.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It takes a really long time, but you just have to have patience. And it's funny because I don't have patience for like a lot of things, but like with video, I guess it's just because I like doing it. I don't know.
That's what's so interesting. I think it's what's so interesting about you is that you look like an Instagram model, yet you're extremely. I know it sounds messed up. You're my homie. I can tell you this stuff. Like,
yeah.
But yet you're extremely talented and you're damn good at it. And so like I think people have a problem like accepting the fact that like, oh no, like she actually does sit down for hours at a time and does these things in like a dark cave somewhere, like however you edit.
Oh my god, no.
however you edit.
I like light spaces.
Really?
Yeah.
Like coffee shop stuff, or
yeah.
like, what do you
do? I edit in my room a lot, and I do like to go to coffee shops because when I go to coffee shops, I have to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get distracted by things when you're in coffee shops, so I do like editing at coffee shops, but no, I'm like I don't like dark spaces. I like a lot of light.
I don't know. It's like a typical videographer. Yeah. It's like in my
cave. I know. Yeah. No, but it is frustrating because I feel like a lot of people like. I don't know if it's because I'm a girl. I get the feeling that it's because I'm a girl a lot of the times that people will like talk down to me or try and one up me almost and like find something in my video like that they don't like and like really go on about it or something.
Like in the comments or just like
no,
to you,
it's like it was like recently I was talking to someone that I met that originally was like saying that he really liked my work, and then we were talking and he was giving me criticism about one of the videos that I had recently.
You asked for it or something?
Well, I understand criticism, but I think it was the way that he worded it. It almost felt like he was mocking me because he was like, "Oh, was that rushed?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I did rush to get it done, but it's not like it was a video that I thought was... The
work wasn't affected by how
Well, he was like, oh, your transitions could have been more creative. And I was like, it was a show, it was John's show, and he played like a very intimate concert. It was like So Far. Do you know what So Far is? They have like intimate concert, like...
Oh, So Far Sounds?
Yeah.
It's been popping up on my feed a lot.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like... They've had people like Lily Allen and like big names, but it's basically like you have to sign up to go to the concerts, and it's like a secret list, and like they pop up throughout the country.
Oh, whoa, that's nuts. That's
yeah,
cool.
So John did that.
Shit.
Yeah.
I went to a concert in a basement I signed up for that you don't even know that existed.
Basically. But yeah, so the edit I did was pretty simple. Like I did some transitions, like the stuff that I normally did, but I didn't do anything crazy like the festival stuff. I was like, that would be so off-putting.
You weren't feeling it.
You know? It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that, and they like didn't respond.
It's like love song, and it's like crazy hardcore transition. It's like no, it's like sometimes it's like
you got to feel the vibe.
You just gotta be simple, and editing's very emotion driven. Like I was talking to Illis, a photographer, and he was telling me the craziest editing thing he does. Like it's so cool to hear about from different people what their style is. Like for you just like to be in a place that's light, you get in the zone. He was telling me that he edits photos to music. Like he looks at the photos and he like does it to music.
Oh, really?
And he kind of tells the story and he like gets the mood from the song. I'm like, whoa, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. When I cut, like when I'm not doing the song yet, I usually listen to music just to get in the zone. But that's not as intense as what he does, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's one thing I hate about videos. I can't like listen to something while I do video. With photos, I can just totally get into two different worlds.
Yeah.
Dang, that's so nuts, man. So, Erin Yasmeen or Erin Dorn. I almost said Erin Dorn when you first came. I was like, oh, it's Erin Yasmeen. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Whoops. That's crazy. It's also nuts that you're like still really young. I feel like I've been talking to everyone young. I need to talk to some old people. It's not fair. Y'all make me feel so bad about being like 28 and like...
Oh, you're 28?
Yeah, I'm 28.
I thought you were younger than that.
Yeah, me too, right? Yeah. But it's like y'all are killing it, and it's like y'all's mindset is so crazy. Is that from your parents, or is that just like something that you have yourself? Like,
What
you
part
seem
of
to,
my mindset are you
like
talking about
like the
specifically?
drive. Like, you seem to balance it very well for being 23. Like,
Yeah.
the drive to do something, but also have an active social life.
Mhm. I don't know if it was from my parents. I don't know. It's just something that like if I didn't do this, I don't know what I would do. Like a lot of
Really?
people kind of like stumble into photography, if that makes sense. But like it's almost been a part of my life since I was like 10.
It was very pre-planned for you. Like,
Yeah,
you knew.
like I've always known, like when all my friends were applying to colleges and stuff, they're like, yeah, I don't know what I want to do, and to me that was such a weird concept, like not knowing what you wanted to do. I
Paying
didn't.
a lot of money for doing something.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that me knowing, well, most people don't know what they want to do when they go to college. I just I just knew, I always knew. So like for me, I didn't realize that I was lucky to like know that until I
That
went
is
to college
lucky.
and like half the kids I knew didn't even know what the fuck they were going to major in.
Especially
yet.
a creative field. Most kids are like, I want to become a lawyer or a doctor, and really it's like their parents just told them to say that so they can go make the money, and now they're all miserable, and they're all following us on IG like, that looks so fun.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm really stressed out. I don't know if I'm gonna get paid this winter.
Yeah.
How have things been slowing down for you in the winter as like a videographer or anything?
No, I feel like I've been way busier. Like I talked about this maybe like a week or two ago.
Okay.
I posted about it, but I just like I almost burnt myself out. Like I kind
I
of
saw
did.
that. Yeah, I wanna talk
Yeah,
about
because
that.
I was working like too much, and like it was the first time I sat down at a computer, and I was like, I don't want to fucking edit. Like I don't want to do this right now. Like, and it was like a video that I was really excited about, and I was like, I just like didn't give myself a break. Like I went to Ohio for a job, and I came back, and then I worked for like 3 days straight, and then I edited, and then I had to work again, and like I just like had to take one day and just do nothing, like just to like almost detox.
Yeah.
From like just working so much, and I never want this to become something that like I start to hate. So
Was it because you're doing too much, or you weren't doing like projects you cared about? Like,
well, no, I was doing a lot of stuff that I cared about. It's like I'm one of those people that like my personality is almost on like two very extreme sides. Like I can be a very social person, but I'm also very like quiet as well, and it just depends on the situation. Like when you meet me, like some people think I'm really quiet and shy, some people think I'm really social. It's just like I kind of adapt to like whatever the situation is. But I'm also one of those people, like I love hanging out with my friends, I love doing stuff, I love going out, but like I need my alone time. And so like I think it was just the fact that I didn't have any time to myself. Like I didn't have that time to like recharge and like refresh. So like I just felt like I was just like my battery was just like draining, and I just needed
your social interaction battery. I feel the same way.
Well,
sometimes.
not even just that, it was just like everything. Like you just need to I know a lot of people don't, but I just need that like
it's like you're not a robot. You're not Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
You know, some people just need to just chill and just be a piece of shit for a day. Or just just relax and just
I think that's why my friends, like my best friends, and I get along so well, because we're all like that. Like I wouldn't even want to hang out with my best friends like at some points, and they totally get that. Like I remember I was hanging out with my Lexi, my best friend Lexi, and like we were at Sarah's house, and we were coming back, and she was like, "Do you want to sleep over?" And I was like, "No, I just want to go home and be by myself." She's like, "Okay, good, because me too." Like we just understand.
That's good that you have like a very healthy social life. I find myself having less time for friends as I get busier, but it's crazy that you still keep that around.
Yeah, I think it's just like important to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Has their values.
It's like everyone. I feel like for me, I went through a lot of shitty friends, and especially at my old school, like really shitty friends, and then I found friends that like we just care about each other in a way that's like really dope that I've never really had, and like we just like make time for each other. It's like because all of us work like a lot, and so when we do have time, like we just like take advantage of it, I guess.
I think it's really like an important thing for if anyone's like listening about it, like as a creative, gets so stuck in this hustle grind. Spend time by myself. Fuck the weekends. I'm hustling, bro.
Yeah,
like but like it's like no, like you need these things.
Yeah.
To,
even when I work on the weekends,
you.
like I think I end up finding time. But it's just like I think that's why I like doing what I do so much, because I do give myself that break. It's like work hard, play hard kind of thing almost. Like I was talking to Johns, and he was like, "Oh, I just like work too much, and I don't like do anything fun." Like I was like, "Dude, you gotta work hard, play hard." He's like, "You gotta teach me how to do that," because a lot of people just like
you get
don't.
Stuck in this just like you feel guilty for playing hard. Like you feel guilty for going to the club or something like that. Like I think I think you don't.
No, I don't.
I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, why not? You know.
I think if you get the work done, then It's all about the end product. If you can go to the club and then you can get everything done. Well,
That's true. Like if you hit your goal set there or whatever
Yeah.
it is, and it's like, okay, I deserve a
Yeah,
good
and
little
it's like
turn-up.
you never want your life to feel meaningless. Like especially if you're doing something like freelance, like you have to like.
What do you mean? You mean views and followers don't validate you?
No. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think it's also because I'm really young. Like I'm not really young. I'm just like in that age where it's like
No, you are really young. You're
you
really
just,
young.
I guess, yeah. You just gotta like at this point in my life, I'm like I just want to make myself happy because I feel like for a long time I was making others happy, and now I'm just like you just gotta like you're gonna die one day.
Is that
you
the
don't
realization?
Wanna, yeah, well, yeah, I guess maybe because I like have family members that just like worked every day and like didn't do anything fun and like didn't get to do all the stuff they wanted to do. Like with traveling, I think a lot of people think that they can't travel.
That seems to be a big part of your brand is the whole traveling thing.
My brand, yeah. I guess it's just like it's funny because I used to know I never traveled when I was a kid because my parents couldn't afford it. So like the first time I ever went abroad was we all saved up when I graduated high school. We went on a family trip to Paris and like Italy, and then or not Paris, sorry, Spain and Italy. And then I remember when I was a junior in college, one of my friends was going to Paris, and it was like $200 round trip. And they were like, you should come with us, blah, blah, blah. And I was like in school at the time. I was like, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, dude, you literally say you want to travel all the time and you continuously make these excuses and you say you don't have the money, but think about it. You're going to spend that shit on dumb stuff anyway.
It just seems upfront like a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but like if you think about it, like $200, some people spend that at a bar in a weekend. Like
that is true.
Exactly. It's to Paris. It was like $200, and like we stayed in a hostel. It was like 10 of us, and like so we didn't have to worry about other people, and like it was an experience that changed my life. And like ever since then I was like, okay, like I would rather spend my money on traveling and shit like that instead of other things. And there's so many like
on experiences instead of expensive bar tabs.
Yeah, or clothes
or a bar
dumb
tab
stuff
in Paris.
Yeah.
How about a bar tab
Let's
in
spend
Paris?
money in a bar in Paris instead of a bar in DC.
That seems way more worth it to me because you're probably paying half the amount in Paris than you are here.
But no, so the trip that we're trying to take now is like I really, really want to go to Canada. That kind of sounds like a weird place to go.
No,
but
it's totally normal.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful, and there's like a wolf sanctuary that I really want to go to, and like Lizzie and I like calculated everything, and it's like $360 for an entire week per person.
And
that's less than a plane ticket to California.
And you're gonna drive there, I imagine, right? Yeah, because
including road trip fees, including cabin fees, including park fees, including obviously it's probably gonna be a little bit more.
Where'd you plan on staying?
A cabin.
Oh, cabin?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that sounds great for $300 for a weekend.
That's what I'm saying. People think it's so expensive, but if you really you could go to Iceland for $200 if you buy tickets ahead of time, which is what I really want to go to Iceland.
Oh.
But the problem is no one ever wants to like throw down and like they don't want to like spend that money.
Like going to Iceland's like you want to go with a part of the world.
I know people are scared to travel. I think a lot of like that's how I was. Like I really wanted to travel, and then like, but I was almost too not scared, but like I think like a lot of people hold themselves back thinking that it's not attainable.
It's way more approachable, especially when going to Canada, and it's weird because as American kids, it's funny because or as American people, Canada's right there. It's a whole nother world.
Yeah, I asked Johns to come with me, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm totally down, but I can't. Like, he can't leave the country." He's like, "Let's get married and I can go." And I was like, "No."
You're like, "Ooh, okay, creepy, bro."
No, it wasn't creepy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking. But no, that sounds sick. But also on top of that, you're gonna get amazing video content. You're probably gonna make some great recap video from it, and all of a sudden it's like, Erin, the traveling, like that's kind of how you.
Well, it's cool because now I get to travel for my job a lot. So like the first festival I ever shot, I shot in Pennsylvania. So I got to travel to New York City and then road trip to Pennsylvania. And that was like, which is funny because that was like not that long ago.
Really?
The first festival I ever shot, I think it was in May. It was Elements Festival, and I worked for a camper
band.
You
just
company.
Graduated, right? And all that stuff too. Yeah, this is all new, but it's happening very.
It's happening very quickly.
And it's also like a big reason why I have people on this podcast who I think are going to be killing it. Like I'm like snagging you guys ahead of time, like so that in like 3-4 years from now, when you're directing like I don't know someone's huge video, I'm like check my backlinks, bitch. Like I'm gonna be able to do this stuff because it's like you guys all have the mindset of it, and like this drive to like do it or create something, and you don't necessarily know what it is, but it's something.
Yeah.
And going to Canada doesn't help you get there somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like it's like I said it before. It's just like my life. Like it's all. It's like kind of like what my real life revolves around.
But that's kind of a crazy life. Would you have believed that? Like you're just getting started. Like, would you have believed that if someone's like, yo, you're gonna be traveling, you're gonna get paid to travel and make videos with like people who make music. Like that sounds great.
I don't know if I would have believed that when I was a kid. I just knew that when I was a kid that I just wanted to make videos. That's all I knew. And when I was just like, oh, I want to make a video, and like whatever happens, happens. But yeah, it's cool. I think a lot of it was like, because I told you I had that plan. And
what plan?
The plan, like I was gonna graduate, move to LA.
Oh, you had it laid out, but that's not how life works.
My problem for a while was like I was very like freaked out about not letting go of control, but like I just really wanted my future to be like, because I was very worried about like not going anywhere, but like being stuck, if that makes any sense.
Being stuck, and was it like money as well? Because I mean, I'm just gonna call it out for how I see it. It's like your parents couldn't afford much. I'm sure you lived comfortably, you ate and everything, but it seems like there's something in you where it's like I want to have more money than them.
Well, my dad struggles with a lot of like health issues, so for a lot of my life he was in and out of the hospital. So for me, money has never been something that like, oh, like let's just throw it away. Like everything that I got my first laptop in college. Like I didn't have a laptop until sophomore year of college. So like I think that's a lot where like my drive comes from almost, because I had to work so hard to like even be able to afford a camera. And like the fact that I just bought like my dream camera is like,
congrats, that's awesome. What'd you get?
I got a 1DX.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a camera that I remember when I first like I got really serious about it. I was like, that's the camera that I want to get like when I'm serious. So like the fact that I was able, that's a really expensive camera, and the fact that I was able to buy that.
Let's just call. I want to know.
It was like 5,000.
And you paid $5,000 for it? Jesus, video life is great.
all of my other stuff I've always bought used. So I was like, you know what? If this is gonna be probably the final camera that I buy, I want to buy it new. I've never bought anything new. Everything that I own is usually used.
Yeah, right. So. You're gonna be buying a red camera in like 3 years. Like,
see, if I'm gonna buy a camera like that, I'd probably buy the Ari, not the red.
I don't know what that is. What's the Ari?
It's very similar to the red.
Okay, just extremely high.
Yeah, it's like high end, one of those big ass like cameras. Yeah.
But that's like the video world. You bought that camera for video. You didn't buy it. I mean, I know it takes pictures.
Yeah.
But like you bought that for video.
Yeah, because it can shoot in 4K and slow mo and stuff.
Ooh, 4K, insane. Those would be some great transitions.
Yeah.
That's sick. I think in the photography world, it's not so much like a 1DX. It's like a Hasselblad. Which is like a $30,000 camera that's like medium format and takes like 120 film. Yeah. Like,
dude, I've been shooting film since middle school. It's so crazy how it blew up.
Yeah, when did film become cool?
I don't know.
Why
it's kind of annoying because now it's so expensive.
Why am I shooting on this hipster like camera? Like, why am
People used to make fun of me because in middle school I would take my disposable cameras everywhere. I used to have a wall like this almost, but it was like covered in disposables. And then I remember in like, not even in college, like recently, I feel like maybe last year, it kind of blew up and now everyone's like, I shoot film, blah, 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 which is cool. But it also sucks for me because now film is like so much more expensive to buy, like for someone that's been shooting forever. But
yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people, but I can also say I started in film, so that gives me street cred right there.
No, I like it. I think it's cool that people are appreciating it more.
Is it the aesthetic that people want? Like, is that what it is? It's the aesthetic?
Oh my god, I had a friend that he came to shoot like a rapper and he brought like his nice ass camera and the rapper's like, why don't you bring a film camera?
Dude, that
the rappers are super into like 35 millimeter.
That's what it is. Rappers want that 35 millimeter grungy, fucked up sort of like aesthetic. It's not perfect. It's not too sharp. You don't see the zits on your face. Like there's something weird with film where it's almost like in camera Photoshop. It's really weird.
Yeah, I always thought that. Yeah,
it's really weird because I could take the same picture like, and I've done it like
iPhone.
Like. No, like,
or a camera.
Like, I've sat in the studio, I've taken that picture, and then I'll take I'll turn the strobe off, and I'll take it with my film. I'm like, why does my film photo look better? And it just sucks. Yeah. But like, yeah, developing it sucks too as well. But yeah, it's the wave right now. Instax, film. I don't know what else is out there. Polaroid's out now. Polaroid came back, remember?
Super 8.
Super 8 film.
Super 8 film is really, really, really expensive.
It's like what, $1 a shot practically, right?
I don't even know. The only time I've shot Super 8 is like for school or when somebody lets me use their stuff. But it's just too, I just know that it's too expensive for me to actually invest. I really want to get one, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, I see photographers now doing whole campaigns with like Super 8 film
Yeah.
because it looks so good, and they just scan it.
You know what it is about film? It gives like that nostalgic kind of feel, like you could take a picture today and it would feel like almost like you took it like years ago. And I think that's why people like it. It makes them feel like closer almost to like when you see a video and there's like Super 8 in it, you almost feel it kind of like closer to the video. Does that make sense?
Wait, Super 8. Maybe I'm confused.
Super 8 is like basically the film version of video.
Is it? It's like a really unique looking camera, right?
It's like one of those long, like it's like almost like a shotgun.
Yeah, I've also seen people using old digital cameras because those have their own sort of aesthetic too.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
VHS.
Super 8,
yeah, it just gives that feel of like nostalgia and like
more relatable. Like what
yeah,
is it?
I
More
think
approachable.
like if you see, I think Converse does it. Converse uses a lot of like VHS kind of thing. It like almost takes away that like big brand feel to it. It feels more like you're watching like your own friends like tapes, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no.
It gives it more of a personal feel, and I think that's why people are using it so much. That's why I like it. Like it always like I remember I shot a video, or I edited a video, like the summer video that I made a while ago. I originally like edited it almost like Super 8 vibes. And like when I took it off, it just like it's two totally different feelings.
Really,
almost.
like the emotion of it changed.
Yeah.
Why is that? Do you think it's just because we make up some emotional connection to film, or is it just actually impacts us differently?
I think it actually impacts us, and I think that's a lot of why I like editing so much, because you can completely change like a mood. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like on YouTube like people edit Harry Potter into like a horror film.
No,
you've never seen those edits.
I've been
it's
falling
funny.
asleep to Harry Potter too, which is funny.
Well, it's just in general, like they'll take a film that's supposed to be either a horror movie or like a romance, and they'll flip it, they'll edit it so like it's a different movie, and it looks so legit, and it's so cool because it's like you can take footage and just make it into anything that you want.
Not because of film, just because you can edit it.
Yeah, it's all in the editing. Like it's crazy. Like one little thing that you can change can completely like change an entire video.
Even just the colors of it, like changing the gradient or whatever. What is it? The color grading.
Color grading.
I've been color grading some stuff now. Even like these videos, like I like bump up the contrast. I'll put like a little low creative filter on it. You know,
coloring in video is so complicated. I think, at least for me, like I feel like on Lightroom it's a lot easier than like on Premiere and like,
how much of your videography is like editing, color grading, the shooting? Like how much of that do you think is like most important? Do you think that getting the shots is most important? Do you think the editing is like most important? Like how do you split that up? Like it's kind of like a weird thought for me.
For me it's more editing. I spend more time editing than I do shooting. And it's like I said, like editing can like make or break a video almost. Like
I think so.
Like I remember one video, it was a while ago, one video that I helped work on, like a music video. We didn't get to edit it, and our ideas almost kind of like not fell apart in the editing process, but it didn't get portrayed as much as we wanted to because they didn't edit it how we were thinking. Like there were some things that were missing, and like maybe to someone that doesn't shoot video, it wouldn't have been noticeable, but for us, we were like, we know that it could have been like so much better.
Yeah, it's like when a client goes,
because you can only do so much with shooting.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like when a client goes, oh, you could just send me the footage or send me the photo and I'll edit it. You're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh my God, you know what makes me die inside is every time when someone posts my video on Instagram and they put an Instagram filter on it. I'm like, it's one thing to put on a photo, but a video, like, oh my God, it makes me cry. Like someone, I remember, I think Monica did this actually. When she reposted.
Shout out Monica.
Shout out Monica. When she reposted the girls video.
Oh, the girl gang video?
Yeah, it was funny because I know that she was posting to her theme, and the way that I had colored it already kind of matched her theme. I don't know if she put a filter on it by accident, to be honest. Because it didn't make sense why she put a filter on it, but she put like the pink filter on it.
It has to match their aesthetic.
I know, yeah. And
we're editing for their aesthetic.
This other girl put like the Valencia filter on like a video, and I was like,
you even know the name of the filter too. Isn't that funny?
I know. It's because it's the one that I like when I did use Instagram filters way back when. It's like the only one that I would use.
You know what I hate? Sometimes when I go to upload a photo and I see the filters right there, sometimes I'll click on them. I'm like, fuck, it looks way better than my edit.
Really?
Like sometimes I'll like, or sometimes I'll go to it and I'll click on them. I'm like, that's a good idea. Like, and I'll get inspired and I'll go back to the photo. I'll re-edit it. I'm like, I should have bumped up the neutrals or something like. And then I'll go back and I'll put my edit. I never use the filter, but sometimes I'll look at like Clarendon. I'm like, Clarendon looks good as shit.
Is that the bluey one?
It's like the second blue one in, and it like bumps up the whites and blues or something. It looks good.
I haven't. I see it every time. The only time I look at it now is when I click it by accident. It's so funny because Instagram was made as a photo editing site. Isn't that weird?
No
one uses it.
They never knew it was going to be this. Do you think? Do you?
I don't know.
They never knew that it was going to essentially be like the social fabric of like how we communicate.
So
like,
weird. I remember using it and I didn't realize that it was like a social media site. So the first time I used it, I was just using it as a photo editor, and then I realized like the whole world could see it, and I was like, oh fuck, like.
You're like, this isn't Visco.
Yeah, like I didn't really understand. I remember because I was working at PacSun in high school when it came out.
Wow, you were on it early though. Wow, I was not on that tip. I was.
Well, I'm also a lot younger. It came out in high school. Yeah.
Facts. High school.
For me, it was like sophomore year of high school. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That's such a big difference.
Oh, we're 5 years apart, which is nuts.
But it's like different school ages. It doesn't feel like it, but like that's half a generation. It's because of schools.
That is everything.
Yeah. It's because you were in college when I was in high school.
You didn't have dial-up internet. It's not fair.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Damn, that's like dating myself. Did you have floppy disk in high school?
No.
Oh, you didn't have floppy disk.
In like elementary school.
Bro, they would tell us, okay, everyone.
I had my personal floppy disk. Yeah. Did you have a personal floppy disk for school? Yeah, I did too. It's weird because our generation is the last generation with any baby photos that are not taken on a phone.
Whoa, you wanna know what's crazy? I was like taking a piss today, which is random context, but I was like, wow, I heavily document my life. Like when I have kids, they're just gonna be able to go to my profile. Like, am I gonna have to block my kids?
Yeah.
Like, where's that line? Like, our parents have no content. Like, all their content's like from now.
Oh, my mom loves Facebook.
Oh,
my mom loves Facebook.
Parents love Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, my mom does use Twitter.
My uncle was telling me, he's like, I'm trying to get banned on Twitter. He's like super Trump and stuff.
I hate Twitter.
And he's not like racist, but he'll say stuff and you're just like, bro, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been trying to get banned. And then my mom was telling me, she said the word tard. Ooh, it's like spit. She said the word tard on Twitter and got like a 24-hour ban.
What?
Yeah, isn't that nuts? They're censoring it now.
I've never really been into Twitter.
Do you think the social media world would be a better place if they got rid of showing the amount of followers and likes you get on photos?
I've thought about this question before. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Like you're just looking at someone for who they are instead of like what they have in a sense?
I think a cool part of social media is that can change someone's life in a way. So like it can give someone who normally wouldn't have a chance, if that makes sense. So that's, for me, that's like the positive side. I know that it can give idiots like a chance to be famous for no reason, but it can also give people like, I'm trying to think of someone, like maybe this is like a really random, like Malala, she can spread her message more. Wow, with social media, and because she has followers, people listen to her. So it can be really positive in that way, but I do understand like likes and followers and stuff like that can run someone's life, and that can like, but I think it all comes down to perspective.
So you think it's more good than it is bad?
I think it's a mix, but I think the fact that it can do stuff like that, I think is more positive than the negative. I don't know, there's a lot, like there's no right answer, but I think it just, again, it comes down to perspective and like who someone is as a person. Like I don't base someone's work or who they are off how many likes they get or how many followers they get. I honestly don't even normally look at like likes, because you see it on a feed, you don't normally see like what the end is, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what your average like is because I don't look at that. I just know what your work is. Does that make sense? You look at the work and you look at the followers.
Yeah. You're like, okay, does the work match their followers? And sometimes you see work that's really good. You're like, why don't they have more followers?
Exactly. Yeah. No, so for me, it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard question.
No, I totally agree with you. Like, the good impacts, I think, outweigh the negative any day of the week, because the fact that you, like, that's probably the best arguments I heard. The fact that someone in bumfuck middle America could just have a platform and have a voice.
But she's from Pakistan.
Well, I'm not talking about.
Oh, you're talking in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking like they could just start posting videos of them singing and dancing. Yeah. On any platform.
Think about fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah. And it's like that can change your life, and all of a sudden it's like now you can live the life you wanted because we have this capacity.
Yeah, and like YouTubers too, it like gives kids like a chance to be not famous in a way, but be able to control how they are famous.
Do you think you get more business because of how much outreach you have on your Instagram?
I think yes and no.
Because in some ways I'm like, dang, and in some ways that's why I chase followers, because I'm like, I want people to see my content and know of me, and I feel like the more I have, the more chances of getting opportunities I will get. I
think in DC a lot of it is just like, I don't think in DC followers really matter, just because.
What do you think matters in DC?
Your work.
You think
who you know, and like getting your work out there, because DC, one, is a very close-knit community, but two, like not a lot of people in DC have like very big followings, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like you get a lot of work because you work, and you have stuff that you put out there, like it doesn't really matter. I think, at least in this area, maybe in like fucking LA it matters.
Yeah, I feel
you know
like
what
in New
I
York
mean?
and LA it's different, where everyone's
Yeah.
got clout, like everyone's like measuring their clout dicks against each other, like who's got the most clout, like, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna hire you. But like, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like here
It doesn't matter.
it is more about who you know as opposed to
Yeah.
like
Who you know and if your work stands out.
Is that how you find? So that's interesting. I want to talk about this, like being a videographer, photographer in DC. Why are you still here? Do you feel like there's gonna be like right? You laugh at that. Like,
no,
do you feel like there's a time where you're like you outgrow it, or do you want to like be like the big fish in a small pond here, or you're just gonna travel and just sleep here whenever you're in town?
I think that's what I'm figuring out right now. Because I've only been graduated for like maybe 2 or 3 months. So
Whoa.
right now I'm just, like I said, I'm riding the wave. I'm figuring it out. I like DC a lot. And I wish DC was bigger in like a sense of music, art, film, because I think I would stay here if it was. But because it's so like deep in corporate and political shit, like it does almost feel like I should move. And I do want to move, and I think that, like I said, I wanted to move to LA for a really long time, but now I don't know. I was thinking about Chicago, I was thinking about New York, but at this point it's like I want to work more here because I know that I can get work here. And I know, like, I like it here, I like the people here, like, I just, like, have made a home in like, I've lived here my whole life, but it never really felt like home until...
Well, you just started in this scene. It's like you just started getting your feet wet, or not feet wet, your feet are wet, but, like you're getting into this niche of DC where you're getting more and more clients that you want.
And it's just, like, also, like, friend-wise, like, life-wise, it just, like, it feels good right now. It feels like I should be here, and I do know that eventually I want to move. I don't know when yet. I don't know where. I'm just kind of hoping that an opportunity will come its way and help me figure that out. But for now, I'm chilling.
I feel like life works like
yeah. You can't. I've learned that
just,
you can't plan out life, or you're just gonna be disappointed.
Like, you can have goals, which is great. But like to be like tomorrow, like I'm moving to New York, and it's like, wait, but what? You built all this, and you've got your friends, and all stuff. It's like, well, unless something deep inside of you wants to make this change, it's like
a lot of it is also money driven. Like, a lot of my friends have moved to, like, LA and stuff. They're like, oh, just move, like, you can do it, just move and you'll figure it out. I'm like, bro, I can't just drop money to move. Like, I'm not rich like you.
But then then I gotta work at Jamba Juice. You're like, I don't gotta work at Jamba Juice here.
Yeah, well, it's also like moving cross country, that's like thousands of dollars. Like, people, that's what I'm saying again, it's like people who just like don't have to worry about that aspect, life is so different for them. Like, for me, it's just like I can't just move. I have to think about it. It has to be tactical. I have to, like, plan it out.
It has to have a reason. Yeah, you gotta have a reason. Yeah, I 100% get it. But yeah, that's an interesting sort of viewpoint on Washington D.C. as like the creative community. That's like, but I think you have such an advantage because Washington D.C., while the community itself is not that strong or tight knit, it's very small, close circle. Music wise, D.C.'s killing it as far as venues. The Anthem, 930, Echo Stage, like, these are some crazy venues that have people coming through, but necessarily they're not living here, which is like nuts because, like, for you as a music person, like, you can totally capitalize on all that shit.
Yeah.
For me, I'm doing fashion. I'm like, oh god, everyone prints on T-shirts here, but like, no shade. I'm just an example, guys. Jesus. But yeah, like it's definitely
and that's what I've been doing now. But I think I just want to take it to the next level, if that makes sense. And I don't think I could do that in DC.
I feel you because
DC for a lot of people is like almost a stepping stone.
It's a transient city.
Yeah, which I kind of hate. I wish it was like bigger, but it's always gonna be like the capital of.
I feel you because it's like when I look at what are the big gigs in DC, I'm like, why do they all involve government stuff? Like, why aren't the big gigs fashion brands? Like, the big gigs are an event for someone. I mean, in my weird nearer perspective, neither of us know. We're just guessing. Heck, we can't even afford to live in DC. It's not even fair. Man. Yeah. I'm so sick of that stuff.
Yeah, but I like DC because it's where I grew up, and it's funny because when I was a kid, I like totally didn't like living here. Yeah. I didn't appreciate it, and then I left, and I was like, shit, okay, well, DC's pretty cool. Like, there's so much to do. There's always stuff to do. There's always like free stuff to do, which I think is really cool.
I like it too.
And like, I don't know, it's a cool place to be, but I didn't realize it until I was like 21, 20.
Same. Like, you can't really get into it until you're in your 20s.
I think when you're a teenager, you're just a fucking brat.
You're just like, I'm going to go my friends out smoking and go back with it. Like, I don't know. Screw exploring and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, also like I didn't really go into the city as much when I was a kid. I just like kind of went hiking and shit.
Really? When
Yeah.
I was a kid, I would. We would come in here. I'd take the metro from Springfield, and
Yeah, I go to all the museums.
for reference for anyone, it's like super south of DC in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go all the way up to the 9:30 Club, go to a hardcore show.
Oh yeah, yeah. 9:30 Club when I was in high school was like my scene.
Yeah, and then we'd come all the way back in our girl pants. It was great. Super great. Well, dang. Well, I think we're getting to a good point here. One, because I have someone coming in for a photo shoot soon, so I don't want to leave them out in the rain.
Yeah.
So I like to check my phone to see what time it is. Dude, we've been talking for like an hour, hour and a half.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude, it goes by so fast. Like I could keep going, and come up with topics with you, but yeah. So I mean, it's been great. Yeah, like I said earlier, I definitely have people on here that I think are going to have an impact. People that I believe in. Like I don't have people on here who I think are half-assed or half pregnant with things.
Half pregnant.
Well, I guess you're a female. I should not say half pregnant. I mean,
I
like
never
1
wanna be
foot
pregnant.
in.
Yeah.
Like yeah, don't get pregnant.
I don't want to get pregnant ever.
or do get pregnant. Do you? Jesus. I'm trying to be PC here.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. Okay. But yeah, just people that I think are like all in and pot committed and trying to achieve something. And so with you, I guess anyone's like you never know where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you could come on here.
Yeah.
Come on, that's the
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And for anyone listening, I'm sure we didn't get to everything we want to. Our friend Sarah's over here just being
She's
a
going like this.
Yeah. If you guys please check out some of the works that we mentioned, and Erin, if they are driving or if they're watching right now, besides the fact that I'll link your Instagram in the bio and stuff, could you just spell out
Yeah.
the @ so they can maybe just do it now or whatever.
Okay. My @ on basically everything is Erin Yasmeen, so it's ErinYasmeen.
Oh, before I go,
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you a moment. Is there anything that you want to say to anyone who wants to be a videographer or females in the scene or girls? I know we talked about anxiety a little bit. Just like real quick before we go, is there anything that...
Oh man.
No, because some people have
Yeah.
like things left in their mind that I didn't get to. Like, is there anything that if there isn't, that's perfectly cool. But if there's like that side of you that you're just like, women, we got this.
Yeah,
Here's your chance.
that I think if you're a girl and you don't think that you can succeed just because you are a girl, know that it's gonna be more difficult. But if that's what you want to do, then go for it.
Word.
You know? Yeah.
Word. I guess I kind of forced you on that one. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to say anyway. So, yeah.
We're all about female empowerment here, feminine energy, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the live stream if you did that. And that's it. That's the angle. Peace.